Today, I want to invite you into a new awareness. I want you to recognize that something extraordinary is unfolding. Not outside of you, but within you. You've waited, you've hoped, you've prayed for the breakthrough, the healing, the shift, the sign. And I'm here to tell you, God's blessing has arrived, the wait is over. But let me ask you something powerful. What if the blessing wasn't coming to you? What if it's been trying to come through you all along? You see, for too long, we've lived in a model of reality where we believe we're separate from what we desire. We wait, we plead, we bargain with the divine, hoping that one day, if we're good enough, if we're lucky enough, that blessing will come. But that's not how the divine works. You are not here to earn the blessing. You are here to embody it. Let me take you deeper. Every thought you think is a frequency. Every emotion you feel is a broadcast. And your body, your heart, your mind, they are antennas. When you align your internal state with the energy of the blessing, when you feel it before it arrives, you become a match for it. That's not fantasy. That's biology. That's neuroscience. That's spiritual law. You waited, but the waiting is over not because something external changed, but because you changed. You stepped into coherence. You aligned your mind and body with the energy of divine favor. You remembered who you really are, not a victim of circumstance, but a creator of reality. So today is not just another day. It is the day you realize you are not chasing the blessing. You are the blessing. The peace, the healing, the abundance. It was never withheld. It was waiting for you to tune in, to surrender the old story, to release the trauma, to move beyond the familiar feelings of lack and limitation. And now, you've done the work, you've sat in silence, you've felt the fire, you've rewired your mind and reconditioned your heart. You've stopped begging and started believing. You've stopped surviving and started creating. This is the moment when the unseen becomes seen, when the impossible becomes inevitable, when time collapses and heaven meets earth. Right inside of you, so take a breath, feel the weight lift, feel the presence of something greater moving through you. You are not waiting anymore, you are not hoping anymore, you are receiving, you are allowing, you are aligned, because God's blessing has arrived, the wait is over, and it arrived the moment you arrived. Welcome to the life you were always meant to live. You are not separate from the blessing, you are the channel for it. This idea challenges everything we've been conditioned to believe. From a young age, we are taught that blessings, miracles, and divine favor are external events, random gifts from above that come to the fortunate or the chosen. But the deeper truth is this: the source of all blessings is not somewhere out there in the cosmos. It's already within you, waiting to be activated. You are not meant to sit on the sidelines of your own life, hoping something greater will intervene. You are the vessel, the conductor, the conduit through which divine intelligence expresses itself in the physical world. When you understand that the blessing is not a thing you pursue, but a frequency you align with, everything changes. It shifts your posture from one of lack to one of power. You stop waiting. You stop searching. Instead, you begin to embody the energy of the blessing before any evidence appears in your life. That's not imagination. It's alignment. It's the bridge between spirit and matter. When your thoughts, emotions, and intentions are coherent, you become the opening through which grace flows. The quantum field responds not to what we want, but to who we are being. So if you're always waiting for the blessing, you're affirming that it hasn't come. But the moment you recognize that it's not about waiting, but about becoming, the moment you feel it, live it, breathe it, you draw it in. Your body becomes the receptor for that higher energy. You become the embodiment of answered prayer. The divine isn't looking for perfect people. It's looking for receptive ones. And when you align with that frequency, you don't just receive the blessing. You become the evidence of it in the world. Every thought and emotion is a frequency that shapes your reality. This isn't just poetic language, it's science. When you think a thought, your brain emits electrical signals. When you feel an emotion, your body generates a magnetic field. Together, your thoughts and feelings produce an electromagnetic signature, and that signature is what you broadcast into the field around you. You are constantly signaling, constantly communicating with the quantum field that surrounds and permeates all things. It is not passive, It is responsive. It listens and mirrors back to you what you consistently emit. So if you wake up every morning feeling fear, doubt, or unworthiness, those emotions become your energetic offering to life. You are essentially saying, "This is who I am," and the field responds accordingly. It arranges circumstances, people, and events to match that frequency. The same is true when you intentionally choose elevated emotions like gratitude, joy, and love. These are high frequency states that carry powerful signals. When paired with clear, focused thought, they create a coherent message, a message the universe cannot ignore. This is how reality is shaped from the inside out. It's not about controlling external events, it's about mastering your internal state. Most people try to change their lives by changing their actions, but true transformation begins at the level of energy, your thoughts and your emotions. These are the building blocks of your future. When you become aware of the emotional energy you live in each day, you start to understand what you're creating, consciously or unconsciously. You realize that every moment you are either signaling survival or signaling creation. You are either reinforcing the old or inviting the new. The power is in the signal, and you are the broadcaster, tuning your life through the frequencies you choose to live in. The divine doesn't respond to begging, it responds to alignment. This truth unravels the misconception that pleading, hoping, or desperately asking will somehow draw miracles into your life. Begging is rooted in lack. It carries the vibration of separation, the belief that what you desire is distant, withheld, or dependent on external permission. In that emotional state, you are affirming over and over again that you do not have what you seek. The energy of begging tells the field, "I am without," and because the quantum field mirrors your internal state, it reflects back circumstances that match that sense of emptiness. Alignment, on the other hand, is a state of being. It is not based on asking, it is based on knowing. When you are aligned, your thoughts, emotions, and intentions are all resonating at the frequency of the outcome you desire. You don't hope for peace, you feel it. You don't wait for abundance, you embody it. In alignment, you shift from separation to unity. You no longer chase what you want from the outside world. Instead, you begin to broadcast the signal of already having it, already being it. The divine responds to that. It recognizes coherence. It is attracted to resonance. You become a magnet for synchronicity because you are living in the same energetic frequency as the reality you're calling in. You're not trying to earn grace. You're expressing it. You're not waiting for love. You're generating it. The field doesn't discriminate, it simply matches. So the key is not to push harder, plead louder, or wait longer. The key is to become still enough, present enough, and conscious enough to align your inner state with the future you desire. When that alignment becomes your habit, you no longer seek blessings. You realize they've been seeking you all along. The wait ends when you become coherent, mind, heart, and body aligned. Coherence is not just a spiritual concept. It's a measurable physiological and energetic state. When your brain is sending one signal and your heart is sending another, when your body is in stress but your thoughts are hopeful, you are in internal conflict. This incoherence creates noise in the field, making it difficult for any intention to manifest clearly. It's like trying to tune into a radio station while multiple frequencies are playing at once. Nothing comes through with clarity. You may be visualizing your desired future, but if your body is addicted to feelings of fear or frustration, you are sending mixed messages into the quantum field. True creation begins when your thoughts are clear, your emotions are elevated, and your body is in a state of receptivity. This is coherence. When your heart is open and your brain is synchronized with it, the electromagnetic field around your body becomes more ordered, more powerful, more intentional. You start to influence your environment rather than be at the mercy of it. In that state, time compresses. Possibilities collapse into probabilities. What once felt distant suddenly becomes immediate, accessible. This is not about forcing anything to happen. It's about tuning yourself to the reality where it's already happening. Your internal state becomes the signal that selects from the infinite potentials in the quantum field. When you become coherent, you are no longer trying to overcome your environment or your past. You are operating from a level of energy where the future meets you, because you've prepared yourself to receive it. This is when life begins to organize itself around your inner transformation, not because you're striving, but because you've finally become energetically compatible with the blessing you've been waiting for. You are the creator of your reality, not a victim of circumstance. This is a radical shift in identity, one that moves you out of survival and into creation. Most people live their lives reacting to the world around them, shaped by the events of the past and controlled by the emotions those events produced. They believe that life is happening to them, and in doing so, they surrender their power to external conditions. This mindset traps them in cycles of repetition, where the same types of people, situations, and limitations appear again and again, reinforcing the illusion that they are powerless. But when you take full ownership of your inner world, your thoughts, your emotions, your belief, you begin to influence the outer world in ways you never imagined. This is not about denying the reality of pain or challenge. It's about rising above it, recognizing that your perception is the filter through which your life is shaped. You don't change your life by rearranging external circumstances alone. You change it by shifting who you are being in the face of those circumstances. When you see yourself as the creator, you stop waiting for the world to give you permission. You stop blaming your past, your upbringing, your environment. Instead, you go inward and start to redesign your identity. You cultivate new thoughts that match the future you desire. You rehearse new emotions that reflect the life you want to live. You teach your body what it feels like to live beyond limitation. The moment you do that, your energy changes, and the field around you begins to respond. Reality is not fixed, it's fluid, and it bends to the dominant vibration you hold. Creation isn't something that happens once. It's something you're doing with every breath, every choice, every moment of awareness. Feeling the blessing before it arrives makes it arrive. This is not wishful thinking. It's a fundamental principle of how energy and consciousness interact with the field of infinite potential. Most people believe they will feel joy once they receive the blessing, peace once the situation changes, gratitude once the prayer is answered. But that approach is backwards. The field does not respond to what you want. It responds to who you are being. When you feel the elevated emotions associated with your desired outcome before any evidence exists, you are signaling to the quantum field that the event has already occurred. This emotional rehearsal is not pretending, it's preparing. It's entraining your body and nervous system to live in the future instead of reliving the past. Your body doesn't know the difference between a deeply imagined event and a physical one. When you feel love, abundance, or healing in the absence of external proof, your body believes it's real. And if your body believes it, your energy changes. Your signal to the field becomes coherent, intentional, magnetic. The more consistently you embody that state, the more you condition yourself to live in the vibration of your desired reality. Instead of waiting for something to change so you can feel better, you feel better now, and that change begins to show up. This is the formula for drawing experiences into your life that reflect your internal transformation. It's not a matter of time, it's a matter of frequency. The more you feel it, the more real it becomes, and the more the field begins to mirror it back to you in surprising and synchronistic ways. Your future doesn't just happen. It is summoned by the emotional energy you generate in the present moment. You are not chasing the miracle. You are the miracle. This realization dissolves the illusion of separation between you and the divine. So many people live their lives in pursuit of something outside themselves, believing that the breakthrough, the healing, or the transformation is somewhere far away, just out of reach. They look for signs, they search for validation. They wait for something extraordinary to intervene in their ordinary life. But the deeper truth is that the extraordinary has always lived within them, waiting to be awakened. When you understand that you are the miracle, you stop seeking and start embodying. You realize that the same intelligence that created galaxies, oceans, and life itself also created you, and it did not make a mistake. That intelligence lives in your cells, beats your heart, breathes through your lungs, and speaks through your intuition. You are not just a receiver of divine power, you are a living expression of it. This shift in awareness changes how you show up. You begin to walk differently, speak differently, think differently. You no longer beg for change, you generate it. You stop hoping for magic and begin creating it with your thoughts, your feelings, and your choices. The miracle is not something that visits you when you're lucky enough. It's something that radiates from you when you are aligned enough, conscious enough, and courageous enough to express your true nature. You don't have to do something grand to be a miracle. Being awake, being present, being aligned. That alone is miraculous. In a world addicted to noise, confusion, and fear, your clarity, your love, your wholeness becomes the most powerful force in the room. You realize that the life you've been trying to attract has been waiting for you to recognize what you already are. God's blessing manifests when you release the old story. The stories you carry about who you are, what you've been through, what's possible for your life, create the lens through which you experience everything. These stories are not just thoughts. They are emotional imprints stored in your body, reinforced by repetition and identity. If your story is one of pain, betrayal, failure, or limitation, then even when new opportunities come your way, you won't see them clearly. You'll filter them through the lens of who you think you still are, rather than who you are becoming. Holding on to the old story keeps you anchored to the past. It keeps your energy tied to experiences that no longer serve you, repeating patterns that feel familiar, but are not aligned with the life you say you want. To receive a new blessing, you must create space for it, and that begins by letting go of the version of yourself that no longer fits. That version may have served a purpose. It helped you survive, make sense of the world, and find belonging in chaos. But now, it may be the very thing holding you back. When you release the old story, you're not denying your past. You're choosing not to be defined by it. You're saying, I'm no longer the person who was hurt, overlooked, forgotten, or rejected. I am the one who is ready to live a new truth. This shift in identity opens the door for divine movement. The blessing is already present, already prepared, already aligned. It's your narrative that must shift so your energy can rise to meet it. Letting go isn't loss, it's liberation. And in that space of surrender, the divine finds room to deliver what's been waiting for you all along. The blessing has arrived because you finally showed up as your true self. There is a version of you that exists beyond the masks, the conditioning, and the roles you've learned to play. That version is not striving to be worthy, not trying to prove, not seeking validation. It is whole, present, and connected to something far greater than circumstance. For so long, you may have believed that something outside you needed to change before you could receive the life you desire. But the moment you shed the false identities and came home to the truth of who you are, you aligned with the frequency of the blessing itself. Your true self is not the one shaped by trauma, fear, or survival. It is the one that remembers. It remembers your purpose, your power, your connection to the divine. When you finally show up as that self, not just occasionally but consistently, you shift your vibration. You become a match for the life that was always meant for you. The universe is not withholding your blessing. It is waiting for you to be the person who can hold it, live it, embody it fully. This level of authenticity is magnetic. When you stand in your truth, you no longer chase opportunities. They are drawn to you. You don't need to force outcomes. You flow with them. You no longer ask for permission to shine. You simply shine, and the world adjusts. Showing up as your true self means releasing the need to be who others expect you to be, and choosing instead to be who your soul came here to be. It is in that state, unfiltered, unmasked, unwavering, that the blessing recognizes you, finds you, and flows to you, because now you are no longer resisting it with who you are not.